When it comes to billionaires' properties, we usually talk about their luxurious mansions, its extravagant features, as well as its massive property with their pool and garage full of luxurious car collections. But have you ever wondered where they settled for good and exposed these luxurious properties? Well, it should be a place surrounded by extremely expensive neighborhoods and equally wealthy people. There might not be that many luxurious and exclusive neighborhoods around, but if you're gonna live like a billionaire, you're gonna have to pick the right one. That's why today, we will be looking at the most expensive neighborhoods in the world and the one you're gonna move into after making your first couple billion. First on our list is KNIGHTSBRIDGE, London. If you are in the United Kingdom and want a desirable neighborhood just within the popular city of London, the KNIGHTSBRIDGE is perfect for you. With property prices reaching about £15.6 million, 33 times the cost of your average London home. It is then considered as one of the most expensive residential streets in the whole city. Aside from being one of the most expensive cities in the world, its population within the KNIGHTSBRIDGE is a little over 25,000 with an average income of about £55,000. Well, you get to know how much cash you need to earn just to live in this city, with average property prices that go up to $9,000 per square foot. Looks like being homeless here wouldn't be free either. Quite reasonable why developers have really taken advantage of KNIGHTSBRIDGE status and filled the place with all sorts of 5-star hotels, designer boutiques, luxury car depots, and it seems like even governments weren't gonna skip out on this luxury KNIGHTSBRIDGE, as you can also find a couple embassies here. Not to mention it is also filled with amazing homes and upscale clubs, which are located near the famous Hyde Park. It's no surprise that this place has attracted quite a few famous people, like David and Victoria Beckham, Kylie Minogue, and 2 members of the iconic Rolling Stones. This city would never have been this glamorous without a couple of centuries of much-needed government-sponsored refurbishments, which made it one of the most prestigious residential areas in the world, holding the immensely prestigious Hyde Park. Next on our list is Avenue Montaigne. Located in the 8th arrondissement of Paris, this uber-exclusive residential neighborhood has attracted some of the most wealthy and famous people from around the world. For the past 350 years, this neighborhood wasn't just steeped in luxury. It was also dripping with cultural significance as well. Avenue Montaigne wasn't always this exclusive and expensive, but these days, it has an average price of $26,000 per square meter. This prestigious residential area is filled with jewelers and upscale designers. In fact, in 2008, a jeweler on the street was robbed of more than $108 million worth of diamond rings, necklaces, and luxury watches. This is the kind of jewelry you're only going to find in the most exclusive stores in the most exclusive neighborhoods. Avenue Montaigne is also home to the incredible 120-year-old Grand Hotel, the Hotel Plaza Athénée, with 154 rooms and 54 luxury suites. But hold on, because a night's stay at this hotel can run you up to $20,000, and that's just for the room in true French fashion. Overall, this hotel features a whole host of incredible dining experiences, each as expensive as the last. If you're done with Paris, let us visit ATHERTON, California. If you want an expensive neighborhood just within the US, then look for a small little town in San Francisco where you can find modest houses that go for millions of dollars. It is known as ATHERTON, which is home to some of the wealthiest people around and home to some incredibly large estates belonging to Silicon Valley's biggest companies. Not to mention a $7 million median property sale price. It's likely to stay that way for quite some time. In fact, the median mortgage price here is $5.5 million. Atherton might be serene and exclusive, but it just might not be the place for everyone, because it was destined to some heavy spenders like Oracle founder Larry Ellison and Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen. Some of them get to enjoy everything Atherton has to offer by buying a property in the area on the cheaper side of Atherton's luxury. If you're interested, one of those properties is the beautiful 307 Wall Street, a bit of real estate worth about $5 million. It covers about 3,700 square feet of space and comes with 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. On the other hand, Atherton's most expensive sale was Paul Allen's massive estate, which he sold for $35 million. The estate spans 1.9 acres and is quite a bit larger than most homes in the area, making its main house about 18,000 square feet in size, plus a 2-bedroom and guest house. It's exactly as luxurious as a $35 million home. Next on our list is AstraZeneca Moscow in Russia. If you're looking for a group of oligarchs, then AstraZeneca is the best one for you. It has its own fair share of billionaire oligarchs, which made it a perfect place for crazy wealthy residents. Looks like they need somewhere to spend their massive stacks of money, aside from buying luxury property in the US, which made them travel across to Russia to satisfy this craving. AstraZeneca is one of the oldest streets in Russia, and it has aged like fine wine. And like any good wine, it's incredibly expensive. Within the most expensive place in Russia, you can find some incredibly popular landmarks in AstraZeneca, like the Kremlin, the Pushkin Museum, and the Cathedral of the Christ the Xavier. Well, it's basically a tourist dream as long as you don't try to move in there, unless you're one of those billionaires I've mentioned, because the prices on this street can get incredibly expensive. In fact, over the last decade, several prestigious housing units were built here. The most expensive of these apartments ever sold was a 5-level property located in Crystal House for a staggering $48 million. That's why I recommend you to stick to sightseeing, because aside from expensive property, AstraZeneca features some of Moscow's most sought-after restaurants and incredible Art Nouveau buildings, which will surely make your visit even longer. Next on our list is 5th Avenue, New York. It's no surprise that some of the wealthiest people from all over the world always tend to flock to New York. Well, if you think it's because of the food, the weather, and the unparalleled sense of luxury in New York, then you're right. This place can possibly offer you everything about luxury, and to be more specific, as you take the right turn, you'll get to see the sights of 5th Avenue, one of New York's most luxurious locations. People have been flocking to 5th Avenue since the 1900s, and it's been catering to some incredibly wealthy people for a long time. New York was already an expensive place to live in, since the average price per square meter is $28,000. In fact, the most expensive properties sold on 5th Avenue are along the stretch between 59th and 96th Streets across from the ever-popular Central Park. 5th Avenue is also one of the world's most expensive places for shopping and commercial rents, meaning you can only find the most expensive and luxurious brands here. Plus, 5th Avenue is also home to a couple of America's most iconic landmarks like the Empire State Building and the Rockefeller Center. Let's jump into our next destination, the CHEMIN de RUTH, Geneva. There are 2 countries you knew for sure were going to be on this list, Switzerland and Monaco. But for this one, located in the heart of Switzerland's colony, close to the shore of Lake Geneva, is the prestigious CHEMIN de RUTH. If you're looking to move into one of the mansions in this neighborhood, well, get ready to save some cash because the property prices here average about $37 per square meter. Not exactly the most surprising thing in the world. I mean, most of the mansions here have more land than most other streets in the area. Not just that, they also come with landscaped gardens, with massive swimming pools, and thanks to the strategic location of the town, they get to overlook a beautiful lake as well. You get to enjoy the views of Geneva's famous Jetty. With all these factors taken into consideration, you must also know the record price for a house on this street is $36 million. Next on our list is Paterson Hill, Singapore. Speaking of the wealthiest countries, Singapore is one of them in Asia. Paterson Hill is considered home to Singapore's billionaires. This cul-de-sac is home to some of the most expensive homes in all of Singapore, with the average property price per square meter being $4,200. Located in the prestigious District 9, a residential area within close proximity to the quite popular Orchard Road shopping belt. This place features a couple of designer boutiques and Michelin-starred restaurants. Plus, the most expensive condominium you can find here is known as the Mark. And to put it simply, this is an address that speaks for itself. In fact, the Mark was conceived to meet the desire for large, luxurious living spaces within the metropolitan city of Singapore, and for very wealthy people to pay for these large, luxurious living spaces. It was constantly revered for its bold and innovative architecture and design. There isn't any location quite like the Mark in Singapore, with its interiors designed by Hermes and a private lap pool in each apartment. This place is glamorous enough to have attracted former Facebook co-founder Eduardo Saverin and former Miss Singapore beauty queen Rachel Kumb. So you know it's the real deal. Next is Avenue Princess Grace in Monaco. Well, of course Monaco is going to be on this list. This place is not only famous for hosting the F1 Grand Prix and the annual Monaco Boat Show, but also this country is known for bursting with incredibly expensive homes. In fact, you can even find here the most expensive penthouse in the world, which is the Odeon Tower Sky penthouse. Of course, it's a melting pot for super rich Europe. Nearly 35 out of every 100 Monaco residents is reportedly a millionaire. Looks like this place is perfect for them to spend all that cash. Avenue Princess Grace is just a place, besides with an average property price of $86,000 per square meter, it's not going to be very hard to spend all your money here. This neighborhood isn't just super expensive because it's in Monaco, but this place also features some incredible properties at its peak prices. Thanks to space constraints, Monaco isn't exactly the largest country in the world after all. Most of these luxury homes are now rental only. But if you want to live here, you have to get permission to live in Monaco. To start with, gaining residency here isn't something any old millionaire can do. You need to prove that you have somewhere to live in Monaco, which is kind of a big step, considering how some of us can't even afford a single square foot of this country. Well, in short, you have to open a bank account and deposit at least 500,000 euros by just renting in this place. Next spot on our list is Kensington Palace Gardens, London. When it comes to London's own billionaires row, then Kensington Palace Gardens are the one you are referring to. Because of the incredibly wealthy people that live there and the luxurious properties, there is no doubt that it is one of the most expensive neighborhoods in the world. Here, the property price per square meter is a crazy $107,000, and the homes here routinely change hands for as much as $195 million. Even the arrival of the Duke and the Duchess of Cambridge certainly didn't make things any cheaper either. Yet, it turns out they have their own palace here set up for them. It's called Kensington Palace. Hence, the name of the neighborhood quite the astronomical flex when the neighborhood is named after your house. Not to mention that this incredibly private neighborhood is home to the French, Russian, and Japanese embassies and some incredibly wealthy billionaires as well. Wealthy people like Indian-born steel tycoon Lakshmi Mittal, who owns numbers 9A, 18, and 19. While his next-door neighbor at number 17 is Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich, owner of the Chelsea Football Club. Lastly on our list is POLOCK'S, the Peak, Hong Kong. When it comes to the most expensive neighborhoods in the world, there is no doubt that we are looking for it in Hong Kong Island and Victoria Harbour. Located in a city that has been ranked least affordable city to live in, yet several times, the Peak has been favored with some of the wealthiest people. Recently, the average price for property per square meter is a crazy $120,000. And still, prices in this neighborhood have been soaring because of chic new developments and luxury homes. It just generally has been gorgeous and secluded in 2015. In fact, it was rumored that Jack Ma, the Chinese billionaire who founded Alibaba, purchased a $191 million mansion here. A few years earlier, Hong Kong movie star Stephen Chow tried his hand at developing a home and developed Sky High, a luxury apartment. It was a resounding success, getting the record in 2011 for its incredible $103 million sale. Plus, that same year, the former French consulate at 8 POLOCK'S sold for $75 million. Looks like some of these billionaires have this habit of spending money on expensive properties, yet still it's not enough. In fact, some of them crave for a place surrounded by extremely rich neighborhoods, as well as prestigious residences with limited space for ordinary one. So, which one of these neighborhoods are you moving into? Let us know in the comment below, and if you enjoyed this video and want to see more Lux Life, hit that subscribe button. Cheers!